Today I'm going to show you how to straighten out and secure a fence that is falling over. The reason that this fence was leaning over was because there was a dead tree leaning up against it. 2, there was ivy growing on one side of the fence, pushing it over. 3, I had all this lumber and materials leaning up against the fence. And then finally, the 4x4 posts that were initially installed, they hardly used any concrete, and the posts were completely dry rotting at the bottom. The fence boards were in decent shape, so I figured if I could just straighten out the fence, secure it with a couple new pressure-treated 4x4 posts, I could get a good 10 or 15 more years out of this fence. And here is how to repair it. Number 1, remove all materials pushing up against the fence. That means remove that tree, all the ivy. Number 2, dig out the dirt in front of each post. I removed the base of the rotten post and removed some dirt behind it. This will ensure concrete will surround the new post. Now you're going to pound a metal foundation stake into the ground at an angle. You will be attaching a come-along to this stake. The other end of the come-along will be attached to a rope that is attached to a 4x4 post. So what you want to do is you want to tie the rope around the new post and the old post combined, and then attach it to the come-along, which attaches to that piece of rebar sticking into the ground. I found that by taking 2 metal screws and sliding them through the holes in the metal stake, the hook on the come-along would slide up and catch those screws and prevent it from sliding off of the stake. Next, I started cranking the arm on the come-along, making the fence pull straight and out, occasionally kicking the base of the post to prevent the base of the fence from popping out. And I take the level and just make sure it's... Next, we're going to insert 2 lag bolts into each post. Now, it's important to select the right size lag bolt. If it's too small of a diameter, it'll break off in the post. And you want to make sure it's long enough, and I'd say about 6 inches is perfect length for a 4x4 post. Now we're going to drill holes in the post. So if you have a lag bolt that's 3/8 of an inch in diameter, you need to drill holes that are 15 to 64 inches. If you have a 1/2 inch lag bolt, then your holes should be 5/16 of an inch. To save time, I've placed a socket on the end of a drill gun, and I'm going to drill the lag bolt into the post. Once it's in 99% of the way, I will use a socket and wrench to tighten it nice and snug to make sure that the new post is pushing up against the old post. There's no gaps in between. Now it's time to pour the concrete. So to make it easy, I started by just opening up a bag of concrete and dumping it in the hole. No water added. In fact, I took 2 bags of concrete, dumped them both in, and then I took a spray hose and I sprayed the approximate amount of water that I thought I would need. And then take a metal rod and I just start poking holes in the cement, kind of mixing it a little bit as best I could. Now I could tell I didn't add enough water, so I continued poking it and then added more water and mixed it a little bit more before I added the next bag of cement. This is the home stretch, the final bags of cement being dumped in the hole, mixing with water. You can see as you use the metal stake, kind of mixing it around. If it's still, you see a lot of those dry gray concrete, then you're going to have to add a little more water. But anyhow, so you can see it's almost done here. After you've dumped your last bag of concrete into the hole and mixed it thoroughly with water, then you just use your hands and you form a cone shape around the base of that post. This, when it dries, when it rains, the water will stay away from the post, which will prevent it from rotting so quickly. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you.